What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going around the world to multiple locations. I receive, not every day, but probably once or twice a week, I'll get a location on Google Earth of something mysterious someone has found in a remote location via Google Earth. So what I do is save that location, and when the folder gets full, like it is now, I'll do a video on all of these different discoveries that people have made. And we're going to do that here in just a second. Also, at the end of the video, I have video footage from 3 different people in the last 48 hours that have recorded some of the most extreme lightning I think I've ever seen. The video footage that you're about to see in this video is unedited, and I'm telling you, it is some high-octane lightning. Those of you that are sensitive to strobe lighting and things like that, this part may not be for you, but I won't do it until the end of the video. We're going back to Google Earth. Here we go. We're going to start off on the west coast of Africa. This location was shared by Andrea Landfear of what looks like a disc laying along the west coast of Africa. Here we go. Check it out. Looks like a disc we just saw over in the mountains of New Mexico. See it right there? Undeniable. Something round. I'm going to tilt this so you can get a little better view. Right there it is, especially over here on the right-hand side. So you can only assume that the other half of this disc is tucked away over here in the sand. And it appears to have something round on the top of it. But there's no mistaking that that is something round in the sand there along the west coast of Africa. If we measure it, it measures approximately 11 feet wide. And that's approximate. We don't know how much is underneath the sand over there. But that location was along the west coast of Africa. Great observation there by Andrea from Angola, Africa. Once again, right there along the west coast. Okay, going from the west coast of Africa to the mountains of New Mexico. You're going to see stunning similarities, thousands of miles apart, of what looked like possibly the same object, but in a different location. This is in the Las Lunas, New Mexico area. This object here that was sent in by Anonymous, you can see it's casting a shadow on the ground back behind it. It measures approximately, I think this was around 20 feet in diameter. Let's check and see here real quick. Measures 17 feet in diameter. So we have one that's approximately 12 feet along the west coast of Africa, this one being just over 17 feet, and then the other one just south of here is around 29 feet. But this was a brand new discovery, and again, leave comments down below in the comments section if you have any thoughts on what this might be. See the shadowing right there? You can tell this is situated at an angle on a very steep, almost impossible to get to location of the New Mexico mountains. You can also see something over here that looks like it has shape to it, but we're sticking to the subject at hand. This round, what doesn't look like a natural artifact. That's definitely not a rock, not a bush. That is another round disc that looks very similar to the other two that we've seen, one here in New Mexico that we're going to go revisit, and the one along the west coast of Africa. And also in this area, about 3 miles apart, we found another round object at about 7,500 feet. Looked like it's stuck in the ground. People tried to say this was some sort of a house that was built up here at 7,500 feet. But if you look around, there's no roads, no trails, no way to get to this location. I mean, realistically, I guess you could take a helicopter, but how are you going to get the supplies up here to build this structure? And this round object, if we measure it, measures around 29 feet across, 29 feet in diameter. So it's slightly bigger than this one over here that's only 3 miles apart. Check this out. If we measure the distance between these two discs, there's one here, one over here, change the length to miles, 4 miles apart. There's also a round surface feature near this disc over here. Check it out. It's not quite as obvious. This one's more tucked away in the ground, but right here in this location is yet another round surface feature. Going back to the folder, I'll show you guys some modified versions of this area. You can see something round right there that doesn't necessarily fit in with the rest of the terrain. Here it showed up pretty good. There's a round object there tucked away underneath the overgrowth and maybe some rocks and sand. You can see it's a little different color, kind of a light grayish color. Here's another view of the object there sitting around 7,500 feet at the top of that mountain in New Mexico. There it is again. And you can see other parts that are kind of laying around here too that don't necessarily look natural like the natural terrain. So there's 3 locations in the mountains of Mexico that again have no roads, no trails, no obvious way of traveling to and from this location, and no obvious means of water or electricity, just some sort of a round feature that's sitting out here in the middle of nowhere at 7,474 feet. So we have two, maybe three locations within 4 miles of each other in New Mexico. Going to another location. This location was sent in by our friend Nelson Jenks. Here we go. Some underwater arrows. Check this out. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This location, once again, was sent in by Nelson Jenks. See the big giant arrows under the water? You're going to see not only that one, but there's other ones as well. Here's another arrow. I mean, how weird is that? Here's another arrow. What? I mean, it's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. Here's another arrow. I don't know how he found these. Here's another one here. That almost looks like a big boomerang craft or something. You've got 1, 2, 3 arrows there that are underwater. And this is way down in the Pacific, south of Guam, south of the Mariana Trench. Underwater arrows just off the coast of this little island. Some sort of strange arrows pointing in this direction. Like whoever made these giant arrows on the ground made them specifically for somebody in the sky, because you're not going to be able to see these things from the ground. The only way you're going to be able to see those things is from the sky. Giant arrows underwater down in the Pacific Ocean, south of Guam. More bizarre surface features going to the Sahara Desert. Here we go. These were sent in by our friend Operation Save Humanity. Sent these in. These are just mysterious surface features over in the Sahara Desert. I mean, those things almost look like tree roots or something like that, quite possibly formed by water from a long, long time ago. Not quite sure of the origins of those things, but they look out of place in today's world over here in the very dry, uninhabitable Sahara Desert. Rare surface features that you don't normally see. And you're also going to see some other unknown features over here that were sent in by the same individual. Look at this white line that appears to be underneath some sort of an elevated platform, some sort of a straight, what looks like a wide road almost. In fact, if we measure that, let's see how wide that is. 132 feet wide. That looks flat. It looks like it possibly is of intelligent origin. And then you've got that white, could be some sort of a mineral. Maybe it belongs there. Maybe it's not out of place at all. But if you look around, that appears to be the only white substance anywhere in this location over here in the Sahara Desert. Everything else is kind of a tan, rusty color, implying the area is just loaded with sand. And the Sahara is known for its abundance of sand. But very unique find. Here's another location that also shows signs of water maybe. And truthfully, these are actually quite beautiful if you ask me. Very unique surface features over here in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Leave a comment down below if you know what these things may or may not be. Going back to the mountains of New Mexico, we already talked about this disc that someone said was a house, but I wanted to show you something. This place here is almost next to impossible to get to. You can see it sets up on a ridge here, and if I change the heading, the ridge is all the way around over here to the other side. So how would you get up here? There's no road that goes up that steep embankment. I mean, that is almost straight vertical right there. There's no roads there. This thing here, like the object along the west coast of Africa, appears to be almost partially covered by sand or soil or something that's not revealing its entire shape. Going back to the disc over in New Mexico, they do have similarities with regard to their round shape. There's not only one, but there's 3 of these discs, 2 over here in New Mexico and 1 along the west coast of Africa. Do you guys remember the strange anomaly that was showing up on radar from right down here in Mexico? Looked like a big version of an Aztec calendar or something like that was showing up randomly. But John found something in that location. He said in regard to the Leon signature, he was talking about the radar signature, I found this strange looking structure near Leon. I captured it with the grid lines to mark the spot. So I went to those grid lines, I found the location, and here's what he found. There was that super bizarre radar anomaly that kept appearing that did look like an Aztec calendar. Not quite sure what we've got going on here. Maybe you guys know what this is, but this is down in Mexico. I don't know if this is some sort of a massive water container, but I don't see any type of lines that would be directing the water to a specific location, or if this is some sort of a radar station. Maybe something else, I don't know, but it is very close. It's in the vicinity of that rare radar anomaly that showed up about 3 times that looked like an Aztec calendar. And then going from Mexico to the coast of Newfoundland, way off the coast of Newfoundland, up here in the North Atlantic Ocean. This location was sent in by my friend Nelson Jenks, who couldn't help but notice all of these unusual surface features off the coast of Newfoundland. You can see there appears to have been some sort of activity out here capable of making these large, almost what look like scars on the surface of the ocean up here. In case you've never seen those are volcanoes there. There's a series of large volcanoes here off the northeastern coast of the United States, and those things are quite massive. Some of those having bases of 30 to 40 miles wide, like that one right there has a 40-mile wide base. That is a absolutely huge volcano. But back to these underwater markings, they're huge as well, and those are volcanoes, and you can see these strange signatures. He was wanting to know if maybe there was some sort of a underwater base up in here that nobody knew about, but there does appear to be some sort of strange activity going on in the North Atlantic Ocean. If you guys know what that is, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Have more strange underwater features. This is off the coast of Florida. Check this out. See these long looping lines that kind of overlap, forming what looks almost like a mummy or something laying there off the coast of Florida. So what I did, I took screen grabs of this area off the coast of western Florida, and here's what I found. You can clearly see these lines look like they're of intelligent origin. Maybe not. Maybe that's a natural surface feature. Let's measure this real quick just to kind of get an idea how long it is. 3,694 feet. That's over a half a mile long. Let's put that in miles, and yeah, 0.7 miles. So that's almost 3/4 of a mile long, whatever it may be. If it's anything at all, it just looks out of place, that's all. Doesn't look like the rest of the coastline. See right there? Almost looks like a mummy or something laying off the coast of Florida. Here's another view. See the strange lines right there? There's something right there. They look very specific, like they were put there for a reason, like the Nazca lines down in Peru. Here's another view. This is just a different format, and you can clearly see there's something out there off the coast of Florida and not too far off the coast of Florida. We'll measure just how far in a moment. Here it is in a basic black and white. You can see there's a couple of things right here that are very specific. Then there's these long lines that go around it, almost looking like a large mummy off the coast of Florida. Let's see how far off the coast that actually is. Going from the coastline out, a little over a half a mile, not too far. So just off the coast of Florida in the very shallow waters near St. Petersburg, Florida. And going from the sunny, warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico clear up to the Arctic Circle. Check this out. This area was sent in by Nelson Jenks, who couldn't help but notice what looked like a cave opening up here. You can see the terrain up here is very, very rugged. And in this location right here, he couldn't help but notice what looked like a cave opening right there, some sort of a possible tunnel way up here in the Arctic. If you guys have any idea what that might be, leave a comment down below in the comment section. If you guys know what this might be down here off the coast of St. Petersburg, Florida, here's an actual better view of it. See what looks like something that was purposely put there along the coast of Florida, out in the Gulf of Mexico. These arrows. Do you guys know what these arrows might be? Down here south of the Mariana Trench, very large arrows, underwater arrows. Again, reminds me of something you would see in regards to the Nazca lines. These were possibly one time above water. Now they're below water. In fact, let's measure one here real quick. Side to side. Change it to feet, and there we go. 271 feet wide. So that took a minute to make, whoever made that, and there's several there. Almost 300 feet wide arrows off the coast of this small island down here in the South Pacific. Let's measure this one right here, just out of curiosity. 150, 160 feet wide. What in the world? And more than likely, these were made at a time when this area here was not underwater. But they're pointing out this way, like they're directing somebody from the sky to that direction. Very interesting. Once again, I want to take you guys back to the west coast of Africa, where we started. Very obvious disc laying over here along the west coast of Africa. This is 12 feet in diameter, approximately 12 feet in diameter, laying right out there in the open. But that's a super remote location, would be very difficult to get to. You don't see any signs of activity over here. You can see rocks that have fallen off the very steep embankment there. And then you've got this sitting here all by itself. A very obvious looking disc that looks like it washed up along the coast of Africa. If you guys know what that may or may not be, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Okay, guys, you're going to see some of the most extreme lightning you've ever seen in your life. This video is unedited. All I did was put the name, date, and location on the video footage that was sent in. Again, this is some of the most extreme lightning I've ever seen, but if you're sensitive to strobe lighting, you may not want to stick around for this part because it is very, very intense. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, now it is. Okay, yeah. Over in Iowa, experiencing a good old storm coming, and this is pretty cool. Wanted to share it with everybody, not to mention we were 30 miles direct east of Des Moines. We were in Newton, and I am now facing the northwest. In my driveway, no glitch in the matrix, no UFOs or anything, I don't think. I was watching a good old Iowa storm coming. Yep. Pretty cool though. It's quite humid though today. Gonna be 90 tomorrow. So wanted to this is cool though. Oh yeah. And this is regular time. But it's cool. Yes, wow. Very cool. What do you think about this, Mr. B? Oh wow, it is? Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah. This looks fake, but it's not. Like I said, this is good. Wow. Good old, I don't know if you see me. Oh, but I will tell you though, facing this due direct of this is a big old giant graveyard. So, wow. Oh, ow. But that is way cool. Yeah. Wow, that's. Those kind of remind me of where I was lightning we had that night of the tornado on Vermeer in 2018. Ooh. Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Wow. Ooh, huh. Oh, wow. Mercer is beautiful. Eerie, beautiful, spooky. Whoa. Wow. Well, we're on 2 minutes up, man. This is cool. Wow. Just let you know, though, I am very friendly aliens, so, but I don't think there's any, no. Tell you what, though, they're beautiful. Yeah. Wow, that's going pretty fast, so I didn't know better. A little too fast, eh? But very warm, humid this week, and it is going to be 90 tomorrow. So, but we were supposed to be expecting a little storm tonight, severe. So we shall see. Wow. I into it. That's eating. Huh. Wow, that's just so fast. Huh. I'm starting to have a bit of rumble though. Oh. Wow. Huh. Oh my. I wanna. What the? Oh, no, that's stupid right there, but. That's kind of. Yeah, it's a smart thing. Yeah. That's cool. Oh, hey. Where's that? Oh, no. Huh. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow. I don't know what this. Like I said, those. As far as I'm thinking, just in Indian summer, yeah. The weather is gorgeous. So. It's kind of weird though. I see like everyone black lines out of the water. And hello, you. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ooh, man, I said, yeah. You see, yeah, right, yeah. Man, look at this, is crazy though. I mean, it's so fat. Wow, that is stupid. Ooh. Yeah, it's cool. I tell you what. Yeah, long beach. Oh, yours is on big, but I don't. Wow, it's neat. Huh? What? Oh, shh. Okay. What's it? Hey, record. Holy, look at that. That is not normal, man. That. Look at that. That is wild. There is something. That is not normal, Mom. Have you ever seen anything like that? I have never seen anything like that, ever. That is really weird. That is really weird. Yeah, I'm recording this whole thing. I don't know how long I can record for, but that is fucking weird. I can't help it. Yeah, the only time I've ever seen anything like that was that time when we scared Sharon, remember? I had to get you out here. Look, it's right above us, too. You see that? Wow. Huh? Walk away from the flagpole? Yeah, I am. That is really weird. Look above you. Look straight up. Look at that.
Again, this was completely unedited footage, and you could tell by the enthusiasm in the witnesses' voices that they had never seen anything like this. It was nearly non-stop lightning with no sound, by the way, just constant light bursts in the sky of various colors. Every once in a while, you'd see green, purple, light purple, dark purple. Then, of course, the white lightning that primarily stayed in the sky, green, very, very energetic skies above Iowa, and then two different locations from Florida. Once again, don't forget to comment down below on the various locations that we saw on Google Earth of mysterious carvings in the ground and what look like more round discs, especially the one over here along the west coast of Africa. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.